Okay, everybody, it's time once again for our second game of tonight's doubleheader, being brought to you by Copley Colony Cable Sports Television. I'm Gary Cox, along with Kevin Takumi. Of course, tonight's doubleheader game, the second game of the first two, is featuring the men's varsity high school basketball action with the Kennedy Fighting Irish playing host to the La Quinta Aztecs. And a few players on the Kennedy squad we want to point out to you to keep an eye on tonight, beginning with senior guard Morgan Murakami. Morgan is one of their point guards, and he certainly will be very much a factor in tonight's contest, controlling much of the offense when he indeed does have the ball. Another player on that Kennedy squad is Patrick Coons. Patrick is a junior center. Patrick is next to Jerome Galloway, one of the larger kids on this Kennedy Fighting Irish squad, and of course, Coach Mayberry will certainly be looking to Patrick Coons to control both boards on offense and defense. And of course, on the Fighting Irish is Jermaine Galloway. Jermaine is a very dominating player. He can certainly take control of the game at any moment. He's very much a force on offense, and he is something to be reckoned with on defense as well. So keep an eye out on Jermaine Galloway. Kevin, what about some of those Aztecs?
Two of the Aztecs we want to highlight tonight. First of them is Lloyd Bennett. He's shooting 39% from the field, 65% from the line, and has a 6.8 percentage, actually 6.8 offensive rebounds per game. The other player we want to look at is Kevin Dohm. His greatest highlight is that he's shooting 72% from the line. Another highlight is that he has 9.9 offensive rebounds, and he's ranked 19th in Orange County, according to the Orange County Register, leading he's ranked 19th in rebounds.
Rebounds indeed, and of course tonight's contest is going to be very pivotal for the Fighting Irish, as if they win tonight's game, they will clinch the Garden Grove title. And of course, that's nothing new to Coach John Mayberry, very much a legend here in Garden Grove basketball action. And if they, even if they lose tonight, they will be guaranteed of at least a tie. But a Fighting Irish victory tonight will give Kennedy once again the Garden Grove League championship to their own squad. So we're going to be back shortly with a tip-off, so please stay with us.
In Salisbury, Maryland, the hungry are being fed. In Wind Falls, Indiana, a man who learned to read at 47 is making sure others learn earlier. Every day, someone in America is doing something to light up another life. But there is so much more to do. The light to do it is within us all. We only need to share it. Call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
Tony had some drinks, a few joints, and got into a fatal accident tonight. Only he doesn't know it yet. Drugs make you forget. And if you forget how risky sex can be, you could catch the AIDS virus and not know it for months, even years. AIDS, another way drugs can kill.
And welcome back, everybody, to the John F. Kennedy High School, as the Fighting Irish are going to play host to La Quinta Aztecs. Varsity men's basketball action upcoming shortly. We hope you enjoyed the first game. And now let's go to our public address announcer, Chris Pascal.
Garden Grove League basketball game. This evening's contest matches the Aztecs from La Quinta High School and your Fighting Irish. At this time, would you all please rise for the singing of our national anthem?
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's national anthem performed by John F. Kennedy High School student Tina Maddox. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet tonight's starting lineup. First, for the visiting Aztecs of La Quinta High School. At one forward, a 5'11" freshman, number 54, Greg Greenfield. At the other forward, a 5'11" sophomore, number 44, Joe Link. Starting at center tonight, a 6'3" sophomore, number 30, Kevin Jones. In the back court, a 5'4" sophomore, number 5, Todd Snyder. And at the other guard, a 5'10" senior, number 11, Lloyd Bennett. Head coach of the Aztecs is Kevin Kiernan. His assistants, John McKeever and Scott Link. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineup for the John F. Kennedy High School Fighting Irish, currently 11-0, reigning in first place in the Garden Grove League. At one guard, standing 5'10" tall, a junior, number 11, Steve Bedeca. At the other guard, a 5'10" senior, co-captain, number 15, Morgan Murakami. Starting at center tonight, a 6'6" junior, number 24, Patrick Tooth. Starting at one forward, a 6'3" junior, number 33, Jeff Cummins. At the other forward spot, a 6'10" senior, number 31, co-captain, Jermaine Galloway. Head coach of the Irish is John Mayberry. His assistants, Jim Wing, Everett Watson, John Pittman, and Jeff Howe. Trainer, Yo Kirsten, athletic director, Tom Wallace, principal, John Dalem, strength coach, Mitch Mad Dog Olson. Timing tonight's contest, Tim Castle.
Okay, everybody, we're just a few moments away from tip-off now, and as you heard our public address announcer indicate, this Fighting Irish squad is 11-0, undefeated this year, under the guidance of Coach Mayberry. And Kevin, you were saying earlier that this is an incredibly young La Quinta team coming out here tonight.
Yes, Coach Kevin Kiernan, he's got a young team, and they know it. One thing he's looking for is to give them experience. What he told me was he's got a really good JV team, but give him 2 years, and he may be in the same situation where Kennedy's at right now.
And, of course, you take a look at these players on La Quinta, and they certainly do look young, with a freshman starting and a couple of sophomores starting, 3 sophomores starting. They only have 1 starting senior in Lloyd Bennett, and they are outsized considerably here. We'll see how well they fare tonight as we're ready for the tip-off. This game is coming to you on Copley Colony Cable Sports Television. And quickly the Aztecs control. Snyder with the ball. Todd Snyder with the shot, and he puts it up and in. 3-point shot by Todd Snyder. A very positive start for the Aztecs, and Murakami is called with traveling, and I inadvertently referred to Morgan Murakami in the pregame as one of the point guards when actually it's Steve Bedeca. Vedeka is the point guard for this Fighting Irish squad. Link, Bennett to Snyder, Greenfield, and Greg Greenfield lost control of the ball, but it's off of Cummins, I believe. And Joe Link will inbound the ball now. He sees Lloyd Bennett. Lloyd's shot comes up short. Rebound, Galloway. Vedeka brings it up court. Galloway with the ball. Terrell misses his shot, gets his own rebound. This is his second attempt. And we have a foul called. I believe it's going to be on a Kennedy player. Let's find out exactly who. It is called on Jermaine Galloway.
That might be a problem for Jermaine. He's really skying over his counterpart, and that may be a problem because the refs might see that a lot of times is going over his back. So
that's a good point.
We'll have to see what the referees do for the rest of this game.
That's very much a good point. Todd Snyder quickly up court with a shot. This is rebound Galloway. Vedeka. And it's taken away by the Aztecs. Very much playing tough early on here, leading 3-0. Todd Snyder brings it up in control for the Aztecs, guarded by Vedeka. Kevin Stone with the basket, 5-0.
I think size can sometimes go the other way also. That gives the team has got one thing, they've got speed and they've got a low center of gravity. Right here you see that this is like the third steal of the night.
And let's see, we have I believe Vedeka is called for the foul. Let's take a look at that play again, Kevin.
You see Lloyd Bennett, his size makes him a fast opponent to deal with. And he just got inside, and Vedeka just had nothing else to do except put his body up against him.
And we have a quick Kennedy timeout called. Coach Mayberry does not like what he's seen from his 11-0 club. And that's a good point about the size. You know, we stressed the size difference here, but the small size of the La Quinta squad could really have its advantages.
Right now, here in the opening quarter, La Quinta is showing a lot of speed, a lot of energy, but we'll have to see if that goes on and if his team can continue that going into the third and fourth quarters.
Greg Greenfield will now inbound the ball for La Quinta. And the ball gets away, and it's going to be Kennedy ball. Vedeka to Murakami to Galloway, and Jermaine puts it up and in. Picked off by the Fighting Irish, and up court quickly comes Vedeka. Lead pass to Morgan Murakami, and Morgan puts it up and in, and he is fouled by Kevin Doan, and he'll go to the line. Morgan Murakami going to the line now. That last foul was on Greenfield, I'm told. And Murakami puts it up and in, and we're tied at 5 apiece.
Kennedy comes out here. Actually, they started the game with this full court pressure.
And Todd Todd Snyder is called with carrying the ball. There you see Todd, number 5.
That Kennedy full court pressure really can put you on nerves sometimes.
Galloway in the paint, and he is fouled by, I believe, Kevin Doan. Let's see. Indeed, a foul is called on Doan. Murakami will now inbound the ball underneath his own basket. Cummins with the ball. Cummins with the shot. Misses. Rebound, Galloway. Vedica. Murakami with a three-point attempt. Misses. Rebound, Jeff Cummins, and he puts it up again. And it looks like Patrick Coons is going to be called for a violation. Indeed, Patrick is called for a foul. Craig Greenfield will inbound the ball now underneath his own basket. 7-5, Kennedy leads with 4.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. The ball is taken away by Vedica. Lead pass to Murakami. He's back to Galloway, and Jermaine puts it up and in. Nice play. Todd Snyder with the ball. And it's almost taken away by Vedica once again, but Quinta recovers, and the ball will not go, and I think we're going to have a foul called against Galloway. And that's Jermaine's second foul. And Bobby Deck will now check into the game for Morgan Murakami. As Greenfield steps to the line. Let's take a look at that fast break just a few moments ago. Nice behind-the-look pass by Morgan Murakami to Galloway, who made the layup. 9-7 is our score now. Kennedy leading by 2. Bobby Deck over the Coons, underneath the Galloway, and Jermaine puts it up and in. And underneath for the basket is Kevin Doan for La Quinta. Galloway to Coons, and Patrick puts it up and in. And the ball gets away from La Quinta. It is recovered by Kennedy. Cummins on Snyder. Cummins pulls up from about 4 feet. This is the shot. Rebound down, and quickly comes Bennett. And Bennett puts it up and over for the basket. And Jermaine Galloway is fouled. He will go to the line. As Morgan Murakami and Alton Purnell check into the game for Kennedy. And for La Quinta, Corey Samuels checks in as you take a look at Jermaine. There's Coach Mayberry talking to Cummins.
Something that Coach Kernan wants his team to do to break up this full court pressure is to move. He's wanting his players to move around, come to the ball, and beat the fast break with becoming open.
– 14-11, Kennedy leading. over Galloway. Puts it up and in. Nice shot by Bennett. He knew he had to arc that ball high to get it over to
He knows how high he has to jump. He knows how far he has to outreach his arms and put that shot up.
And Jermaine misses his shot attempt. And Bennett comes away with the rebound. Murakami misses a steal attempt. Snyder with the shot, and Todd makes the count. 15-14, La Quinta takes the lead now with 1 minute and 55 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Coach Kernan's got his players moving around. They're getting the ball. They're finding the open spot.
Kennedy ball now. As Richard Anderson checks into the game now for Kennedy. Jeff Cummins will also check back into the game, replacing Alton Purnell. Bobby Deck with the ball. Deck guarded by Snyder. Finds Murakami underneath. Morgan attempted to get it to Anderson, and it's over and back. It will be La Quinta ball.
Once again, the Aztec size is coming into play here. They're small and they're fast. They're a lot more agile than a big player.
Bennett, double team, gets it off to Greenfield. Shot by Samuels misses. Rebound Kennedy. Coons with the shot missed. Rebound Anderson. No, excuse me, that's Jeff Cummins with the rebound. Morgan Murakami feeds Cummins in the paint. Back to Coons. And Patrick takes it up, but misses his layup attempt. Gets his own rebound. Gets the shot off, and he is fouled. And the foul is called on Lloyd Bennett. As Kevin Doan checks back into the game now for La Quinta, replacing Samuels. And Patrick makes his three-point conversion. 17-15 is our score. Kennedy with the lead. Full court press being applied by the Irish, and Jeff Cummins knocks it out of bounds. It'll be Aztec ball. Snyder feeds Doan underneath. Kevin misses the shot. Rebound Jeff Cummins. Quickly up court comes Bobby Deck. Feeds Murakami. And the pass gets away from Kennedy, but Patrick Coons recovers it. Morgan Murakami from the free throw line, and he hits it. 19-15. Lloyd Bennett, this is the rim, and it's going to be Kennedy ball. 3 seconds remaining now in the first quarter. La Quinta trailing by 4, 19-15. Morgan Murakami lets it go, and it gets caught up in the lights. Nothing doing, and at the end of 1 quarter of play, our score is Kennedy 15, Kennedy 19, La Quinta 15. So far, Kevin, the Aztecs are playing much tougher than what we anticipated.
Yeah, a lot has to do with the size factor. We were talking about earlier how Kennedy's big size could affect what's happening, but also La Quinta's small size is really affecting Kennedy's game. They're in there, they're low to the ground, they can take away the ball with real ease.
As you take a look at Coach Kernan giving his team some advice. Capacity crowd here at Kennedy this evening.
I think what Coach Mayberry is telling his team is to keep that ball moving. That's the one thing that they have over this La Quinta team. They have the height. They can use their height and make passes out of the reach of the La Quinta players. But at the same time, he's probably also telling them to make clean passes and watch the passes.
Vedica with the ball now for the Fighting Irish, guarded by Todd Snyder. Galloway makes the basket. 21-15 is our score now. Is intercepted by Patrick Coons. Up court comes Vedica. And Steve misses his shot. Bennett quickly up court now for the Aztecs. And he feeds Link, who misses his shot. Murakami comes down with the rebound. Cummins misses his shot, and Galloway is there for the rebound. And we have an Aztec timeout. 22-15 is our score now, as the Fighting Irish are somewhat gaining control of this game, leading by 8.
With 6:38 left in the second quarter, you can tell that La Quinta is starting to get a little tired. Coach Kernan was talking about that his team might get fatigued very quickly. They're showing a lot. They opened up and they showed a lot of speed out there, but now their speed's kind of slowing down. Their passes are getting a little bit sloppy, and they're finding it hard to move themselves around and getting open as they were at the start of this game.
.6:38 remaining in the half. You're watching this game on Copley Colony Cable Sports Television. Anthony Brooks with the ball now, recently checked into the game. Passes back to Snyder. And Todd feeds zone. Nice pass by Todd Snyder. Coons misses his shot, gets his own rebound. Murakami with the ball now. Jermaine Galloway takes the shot, and he hits it. There you look at Coach Kernan.
He's telling his players to come to the ball, move to the ball. That's the only way they're going to break this press down.
Snyder's pass is picked off by Coons. 2-on-1, Murakami and Coons. Back to Patrick Coons, and he puts it up and in. 27-17 is our score now, as the Fighting Irish have built a 10-point lead. Snyder guarded by Murakami. Todd feeds it back. The link, and it's going to be Aztec ball. As Jeff Greenfield comes in now for Todd Snyder, and also checking into the game for the Aztecs is number 40, and I don't have a number 40 on my roster, so I'm not sure who number 40 is for La Quinta. Greenfield with the ball, takes the shot, and he banks it off the glass and puts it in. And it's going to be Kennedy ball still, I believe.
Here's a replay, Gary, on Kennedy's last fast break. You can see them moving the ball down and just playing the passing game with them and just avoiding all defense.
(27-19) is our score. Lloyd Bennett with the shot, misses, rebound Galloway. Vedeka feeds Murakami. Back to Jermaine Galloway. Jermaine misses his shot. Rebound Greenfield. As Bobby Deck prepares to come back into the game. Brooks retains possession. Greenfield with a shot. Misses. Gets his own rebound and puts it back up and in. Nice play by Greg Greenfield. One of the many, I should say, the only freshman on this Aztec squad is Greg. Cummins. And checking into the game now for the Fighting Irish are Bobby Deck and Paul Pappas checking into the game. The pass is intercepted by La Quinta.
Lloyd Bennett's playing a real good game of defense there. Despite his size, he's getting in, he's knocking down the high passes, and he's taking the ball.
Kennedy once again comes away with an inadvertent pass. Bobby Deck feeds Pappas. Kevin Doan and Todd Snyder are getting ready to come back into the game now. Cummins feeds Galloway. Jermaine takes it up and puts it up and in. 3 minutes remaining in the half, and Kennedy has an 8-point lead, 29-21. Kevin Doan. Todd Snyder with the ball. Brooks. Anthony Brooks with the shot, and it doesn't go, and Patrick Coons initially came away with it, but he lost it, but Jermaine Galloway is there. Bobby Deck quickly passes the ball to Coons underneath the basket, and it looks like Joe Link is going to be called for a foul, I believe. Foul is indeed called on Joe Link as Lloyd Bennett checks in for La Quinta and Richard Anderson checks in for Kennedy, giving Jermaine Galloway a much-deserved rest. And Patrick Coons makes his first free throw attempt. And he makes his second. 31-21 our score with 2 minutes remaining in the half. And the pass gets away from Bennett, recovered by Cummins. Pappas with a three-point attempt, missed. Rebound Todd Snyder. Quickly up court comes Snyder. Feeds Bennett, who feeds Stone, who puts it up and in. Nice play by the Aztecs.
And let's take a look at replay at that last fast break. You see Bennett makes the shovel pass right at the end there. I think the main thing about that is they pass twice off instead of once. They're just taking it straight to the hoop. They found the open man, took it inside, and also they got a bonus and drew a foul out of it.
Kevin Doan at the line now, the 6'2" sophomore from La Quinta. And Kevin converts on his three-point attempt. 31-24 is our score. A little full-court press being applied by the Aztecs. And the pass is out of bounds. It'll be Aztec ball. They have a chance to pull within 5 points here. The La Quinta Aztecs, under the coaching of Kevin Kernan, have played very well tonight. Very much staying in this contest against the undefeated Fighting Irish.
Coach Kernan telling his team to control the ball,
Snyder drives into the paint, feeds back to Bennett. Greenfield. Is our shot clock not working? It hasn't been on for this game, I don't believe. And I think they're going to call Richard Anderson with a foul on Bennett.
In high school CIF, there is no shot clock.
So, wasn't it working for the girls' game?
It was. There is a shot clock for the women's games, but there is not one in men's.
Interesting. So you learn something every day, I guess. Todd Snyder with the ball. La Quinta trailing 31-24. Greenfield with the shot. And let's see who got that rebound. Alan Wu gets the rebound for Kennedy. Vedica with the ball. Passes off to Cummins. Jeff hits it. 33-24 is our score. Todd Snyder bringing the ball up court now. Greenfield, back to Snyder, back to Greenfield. Greenfield with a three-point attempt, misses. Rebound, Todd Snyder. Todd tries to feed Bennett, but not. And that's the end of the first half of play here at Kennedy High School, with the Kennedy Fighting Irish leading the La Quinta Aztecs 33-24 at half. At the half. I can say that, at the half. And of course, Kevin, I know that we have a special feature for you here at halftime. And what do you have for us, Kevin?
Right now, Roger Haney is going to show us a little bit about the Pursuit of Excellence program here at Kennedy High School.
For the past several months, teachers and administrators here at Kennedy High School have been busy implementing a self-evaluation program called WASC. WASC stands for Western Association of Schools and Colleges, but many of the teachers prefer to call it Pursuing Excellence. Principal John Dalem has more.
This year we are undergoing what is called the WASC Accreditation Report, and it's the West Association of Schools and Colleges. It happens about every 6 years, depending on how good your school is. It's an accreditation process where we ask our teachers to do a self-study. This is the self-study that they've done. It's an evaluation of all the programs that we have on campus under the excellent tutelage of Lucy Swindell, who is our chairperson. They've done a self-study of all of our programs on campus, extracurricular, academic, all of the programs dealing with kids and parents that we have on our campus, to find out if we're doing our job. The state of California is very concerned if we're following the curricula that we're supposed to be teaching, if we're taking care of what we're supposed to with kids and reaching out to kids and access to all individuals that we have on our campus. As a result of this self-study, on March 9th through March 11th, we'll have a visiting committee of 7 people. And they will visit our campus, they will look at our campus, and they will look at our self-report, and they will see if what we said is true. They will make recommendations, they'll make commendations, and then from that, we can pretty well drive the school plan for the next 2 or 3 years at our school. We're, of course, hoping for a 6-year accreditation. The worst scenario, if you are not doing a good job at the school, is that they will say you have a 1-year accreditation and they will be back in 1 year to check your school. What that essentially means is once you're accredited, a student who graduates from the school receives a little seal on their diploma, meaning that the education that they got allows them to go on to college. If you are not accredited, you're in real trouble. We don't fear that at all, and we're really looking forward to a 6-year accreditation. But that's the process. Something sort of neat this year is that one of those visitors will be a student from San Gorgonio High School, and he'll get a chance to talk with our students. And they are here 3 days. They'll stay at the Days Inn, and they spend all day here on campus. They stay up all night writing these reports, and then on Wednesday, before they leave, they'll give us an exit interview and tell us what they think is good about our school and what they think needs improvement based on what we've said. They do not necessarily come and say you should do this or do that. They rate us against state criteria and framework, and we need to be aligned with those.
Okay, and what's exciting happening on campus? Any new developments or?
A lot of exciting things. We're really pleased this year. This has been a very busy year. We've increased our population here. We're up to about 1,660 students. It's the first time, I believe, in 5 years that we've shown growth here at Kennedy High School. We've done some really neat things this year. Just the other day, we had the Orange County Philharmonic Orchestra here and played for the entire school. We were one of 4 schools in Orange County to have that happen. And we had a little bit nervous about that. We weren't sure whether all of our students would appreciate that, but they did. It was amazing. We split our school into 2 assemblies. The students were quiet, and they loved it. Yesterday, we had an AIDS assembly, which was called Secrets, and it was done by a local group here, very popular. The students enjoyed it. It was very upfront, very good for all the students. We allowed the parents to review it before we showed it, and the students really responded very well. The parents responded very well, and the students did. And I think it's something that AIDS education is very important in our district, and I think it's something that we did an excellent job with this sort of psychodrama called Secrets yesterday. Next week, we have a meeting with the Korean parents in our community, and there'll be a translator there, and Mr. Ho Chung will be here, and he's president of the Orange County Korean American Association, and he will be standing next to me as I talk to our Korean parents, and he'll be translating, attempting to get our Korean parents active in our school. We have about 23% of our population is Asian. Of that, about 50% of that Asian population is Korean. We have about 200 Korean kids here, so we think we need to reach out for them. We're featuring Black History Month this month. We have a new Black Heritage Club. And we just finished up across the hallway here in MP1 yesterday. We celebrated the Chinese New Year and the Tet. And we had all of our students walk through MP1 and look at some of the displays in there.
Lucy Swendell, English teacher at Kennedy, was selected chairperson for this program. Before the program could be completed, a detailed set of procedures would need to be put into effect.
Self-study process, which we at Kennedy High are calling pursuing excellence, because that is our goal at Kennedy, to pursue excellence, began almost 3 years ago when we started doing some training and looking into Kennedy High School. And as John has already explained, when I started training 2 years ago, there are state criteria. And then we at Kennedy examine ourselves and we look and we say, are we meeting these state criteria? It's a very lengthy, detailed process. And one of the things that was so exciting for me as I went through training and trained our steering committee is the teachers that I work with. We have an exciting, hard-working, dedicated staff here at Kennedy High School. And there were 15 people on what we call the steering committee. And these are 8 department chairperson, our assistant principals, a parent, our activities director, people who are really involved in the program at Kennedy High School. And we read our entire report. We met with teachers. We used in-service days to write. We discussed the entire process. We looked at ourselves. It's very lengthy, very time-consuming at times, very frustrating. But the end result, we're very pleased with the document that we wrote, our self-study report.
What were some of your challenges implementing or actually carrying out the WASC program or self-evaluation program?
It was really a challenge because I think as classroom teachers, we all tend to think we're doing an outstanding job, which we are most of the time. And sometimes it's difficult for us to change. And what the state is asking is more multicultural, more integration of our ESL, our LEP, limited English-speaking students, programs for our special ed students, our GATE identified, as well as our majority of students who don't fit into any of these categories. And what we're trying to do is blend a program that meets the needs of all these students and make it where the students feel a part of our program at Kennedy High School. They're involved in their learning process. It's a student-centered classroom where the teacher is a facilitator in helping their learning process. And for some of our teachers, that's a change in their teaching methods, and it's been a difficult process. We all had to come to consensus on a report, and some people sometimes would not agree. So that was interesting. We used most of our in-service days. The students have been off 3 days. They will be off 2 more days for the teachers to get together and talk and discuss and say, this is what we're doing great at Kennedy High School, but how we can meet the needs of the kids better in the future. And that's been our frustration of, with limited funds, with state cutbacks, what we can do with existing resources, with what we have here at Kennedy. How can we integrate our program, bring reading, writing, listening, and speaking skills, educate our students in math and science to meet the needs of the 21st century. And that's been a real challenge in our Pursuing Excellence process. I think one of the exciting things that John and I are looking forward to is our follow-up, because under the new blended process required by the State Department of Education and the Western Association of Schools and Colleges, is you do a follow-up. Each department had to write action plans, things that within the next 3 years we as classroom teachers are going to implement. And that's exciting that under this new blended process of Pursuing Excellence, we have a chance to implement when the visiting committee comes in and says, yes, you're doing this wonderful, but we'd like to do this better. We'd like to integrate some social studies and English. It's one of the things we're working on. And that's exciting for us in the next 3 years to be able to have some time to work on some of these programs to benefit the students at Kennedy High School.
Here in La Palma, where the Kennedy Fighting Irish are leading the Quinta Aztecs 33-24 at halftime. Kevin, what about some of those halftime statistics?
Well, to start off, Jermaine Galloway is leading with 15 points out on the field. Actually, 15 points total in the field and at the line. He's also leading the team with 8 rebounds. Another person that we want to take a look at is Patrick Coons. He scored 9 points from the field, and he's really making a difference in steals and assists. As a team, they've brought down 17 of the rebounds, which is not surprising for a team that has this height advantage that it does. Moving over to the La Quinta side, one person to keep a real eye on is Kevin Doan. He's leading the team with 9 points. And as a team, what may, in relationship to the 17 rebounds that Kennedy has brought down, La Quinta has also brought down 10 of their 10 rebounds. And only 7 rebounds is not a lot of rebounds to be leading in a game where height seems to be so much of a...
That's a very good point indeed, as we're ready to resume action here. The second half is about to begin with the Fighting Irish leading the Aztecs 33-24. Todd Snyder now controls the ball for the Aztecs. Snyder to Bennett. Back to Snyder. Snyder with the ball. Kevin Doan takes it to the basket, makes the shot. What an effort by Kevin Doan of the Aztecs. He's fouled on the play, and he will go to the line. And apparently they are going to say that the foul was, the basket does not count. Let's take a look at that again, Kevin, as La Quinta is denied the basket. Geez, I don't know about that call, but the ref saw it differently. Nonetheless, it's not a basket, and La Quinta will inbound the ball. Inbounding is Greenfield, guarded by Galloway. And Greenfield attempted to get it to Bennett, who was cutting back underneath the basket, but was unable to do so. He will try again.
This is probably La Quinta's toughest challenge, to try to make the inbound pass.
And we have a La Quinta timeout, as the Fighting Irish were very much denying them the opportunity to put the ball into play. As mentioned earlier, if the Fighting Irish do win tonight's contest, they will clinch the championship for the Garden Grove League. Something that Coach Mayberry is somewhat accustomed to in his long and distinguished career here at Kennedy.
And I think that's something Kevin Kernan is hoping to get from his team in a couple of years. Give them a couple of years of experience and let them grow a bit. They're such a young team; they have so much ways to grow. Let them grow and get taller, and you may see an undefeated team in a couple of years.
And La Quinta is denied as Kennedy comes away with the ball. Morgan Murakami puts it up, misses his shot, and it looks like we're going to have a foul called, I think, on Coons. I'm not sure. It is indeed called on Patrick Coons.
And that's his third foul.
Snyder with the ball now. Bedico takes the fall. Galloway intercepts, passes off to Bedico. Cummins with the shot, misses. Rebound. The ball is off of an Aztec. Morgan Murakami will inbound now for Kennedy. Coons to Bedico, into Galloway, and Jermaine puts it up and in. 35-24 is our score. Greenfield with the shot, missed, rebound Cummins. And Bedico feeds Murakami, who tried to give it back to Coons, but it's knocked away, and Bennett comes away with the ball. Snyder with a three-point shot, misses, rebound Bennett. Greenfield with a three-point attempt, he misses, rebound Coons. Kennedy with the ball. And Patrick Coons drills it. 37-24 now. A little under 5.5 minutes remaining here in this third quarter of play. You're watching this game on Copley Colony Cable Sports Television, and it's going to be La Quinta ball. And the pass is kicked out of bounds by Cummins. It'll be Aztec ball once again. Here you take a good look at Jeff. Jeff Cummins comes down with a rebound. Bedico quickly up court. Steve feeds Morgan Murakami. He takes a three-pointer, misses. Galloway is right there, and he puts it off the glass and in. Another big rebound and 2 points for Jermaine Galloway. He's having one heck of a night. as Bobby Deck prepares to come back into the game. And Bennett is called for a traveling violation. And Coach Kernan is a little upset with that call. He's claiming that Morgan Murakami ran right into Bennett, forcing him to stumble. Nonetheless, it's Kennedy ball.
I think Jermaine Galloway had a little bit to do with that call, too.
Morgan Murakami with the ball, guarded by Greenfield. Coons feeds Galloway. Jermaine puts it up and in. Jermaine's definitely got the hot hand right now. And we're going to have an Aztec timeout.
Jermaine Galloway taking advantage, is moving up. I think that's something maybe Coach Mayberry had asked him at halftime to step up a little bit. He was leading with 15 points and 8 rebounds at the half, but right now he's moving up and he's taking advantage of his height. He's getting the offensive rebounds, making the second shots, and they're getting the passes to him inside and making the point.
And I've noticed that Coach Kernan of La Quinta, he is losing a little bit of his patience with some of the refs calling tonight. His club is down by 17. 41-24, they trail.
And I think his players are starting to get a little frustrated, too, with trying to fight against this much taller team.
And Bennett drives quickly up court, but cannot make it count. And Greg Greenfield almost picked off the pass, but he loses control out of bounds. It will be Kennedy ball. Bobby Deck with the ball now for the Fighting Irish. And the pass is almost picked off by Doan. Rebound Coons. Patrick Coons at the line. Now let's take a look at that last play, Kevin. And there you saw Coons being fouled. And Patrick converts. Full court press being applied by the Fighting Irish. And checking into the game now is David Rosenthal for the Aztecs. Bennett drives all the way to the basket, cannot get it to count. Jermaine Galloway puts it up and in, and he is fouled.
Looks like Coach Mayberry is asking his team to step it up. They're playing an aggressive defense, really going after the ball on the full court press, and pushing the ball up.
46-24 is our score with 3.5 minutes remaining in the game. Bennett gives it back to Todd Snyder. Rosenthal with the shot, and he hits it. 46-26. Patrick Coons with a nice layup.
Once again, you see Kennedy pushing that ball up, really wearing out and adding to the fatigue of the La Quinta players.
Greenfield misses. Rebound Galloway. Medica prepares to come back into the game. Long lead pass to Coons. He puts it up and in. Bobby Deck is going to be called for a foul on Bennett. Indeed, he is called for a foul. And Vatican checks in for Morgan Murakami now. And Bobby Deck is quickly called for another foul. So Bobby Deck picks up a couple of fouls in a matter of seconds here as Paul Pappas checks back into the game now for the Fighting Irish. Ball is knocked out of bounds by Cummins. It'll be Aztec ball. Bennett to Snyder. Two minutes remaining in the third quarter as Anderson and Purnell prepared to check back into the game for the Irish. Bennett with the shot. And we have a series of Irish preparing to come into the game. Checking into the game now for the Irish are Richard Anderson, John Provenzano, and Alan Wu. And also checking into the game now for the Aztecs, as we take a look at a replay, I believe is Anthony Brooks. Cummins at the line. And Jeff hits it. Alton Purnell now checks into the game. Todd with a three-point shot. Snyder misses it. And the rebound was grabbed by Samuels, and I believe he is fouled on the shot attempt. And it looks as though Richard Anderson is called for the foul. 1:25 left in the third quarter. Kennedy leading La Quinta 52-26. Anderson comes down with a rebound. Pappas was attempting to get the ball to Alton Purnell. Purnell to Pappas. And looks like Anderson is fouled. And the foul is called on Rosenthal of the Aztecs as Richard Anderson will go to the line. And Provenzano tried to get the ball, but the Aztecs come away with it. Todd Snyder. Snyder to Samuels, to Greenfield, back to Snyder. And almost picked off, but Greenfield gets it back. Greenfield with a three-point shot. Rebound Provenzano for the Fighting Irish. And quickly up court comes John with the ball. Feeds Anderson. Nice no-look pass by John Provenzano to Richard Anderson for the basket. As Doan and Link prepare to come back into the game now for the Aztecs. 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
The Aztecs are really trying to move the ball around.
And the pass is picked off by Anderson, but Todd Snyder comes away with it. Nice feed pass to Greenfield. Does not get the basket to drop. And once again, the Fighting Irish are on the march as Provenzano's shot with no time left comes up short. And at the end of 3 quarters of play, our score is Kennedy 54, La Quinta 26.
The big difference that the Fighting Irish have made in this quarter is that this time they've completely out-rebounded La Quinta with 12 rebounds, offensive and defense, and holding La Quinta down to only 3 in the whole third quarter.
As you take a look at Coach Kernan talking to his Aztec players. And it looks as though Coach Mayberry is going to keep his undefeated record and once again claim a Garden Grove League title, as his club has a 28-point lead. Kuntz makes it a 30-point lead, 56-26. Greenfield will inbound the ball now. Snyder to Greenfield. Misses his three-point attempt. And the ball is off of Kuntz. It'll be Aztec ball. Rejection by Galloway, but Snyder quickly feeds Doan again, but the Fighting Irish come away with it, and it's Morgan Murakami all the way to the basket. And Morgan Murakami almost picks it away, but Kevin Doan is there who feeds it back to Todd Snyder. Todd double teamed. And he's over and back. And Todd wants a foul, but he's not going to get it, obviously. Let's take a look at that last fast break by Murakami, Kevin.
Going up here, he either has the option to pass it off to the trailer, but he just takes it all the way. Good play with Murakami.
And Cummins hits a two-pointer.
I think the fatigue and frustration is starting to get to this young La Quinta team, and that only means not physically, but also mentally. They're making a lot of mental mistakes.
Six and a half minutes remaining in this contest. Kennedy with a substantial lead, 60-26, as Kevin Doan will go to the line.
And Patrick Cruz picks up his 4th foul.
Doan makes his first free throw. Now to attempt his second. And Kevin converts on both. Murakami with the ball. Feeds Patrick Cruz underneath. And Patrick puts it up and in. Bennett driving all the way to the basket. Nice layup you know, Lloyd's had a little bit of trouble making those layups tonight. I know he's driven hard to the basket on several occasions to come up empty. Vetica feeds Galloway, who puts it up and in.
I think a lot of that has to do with his size. I think with a guy as big as Jermaine Galloway, I think that's a lot of intimidation there.
It certainly is, as Greenfield misses his shot. And I believe the foul is called on Galloway. You know, some of the fans behind us, Kevin, are beginning to echo what I was thinking, and with such a big lead, I'm a little surprised Coach Mayberry has some of his starters still in the game, and the likes of a Galloway and Vetica and Kuhn and Murakami. He's practically got almost his whole starting lineup in there with a 64-28 lead. You're hearing some shouts of discontent coming from some of the Aztec fans sitting behind us. They think he's got a big enough of a lead where he might be able to substitute some of his players, as we have now with Bobby Yamamoto into the game now. Bobby Yamamoto steps into the game. One thing you've got to credit Coach Kernan and this Aztec team with is they're still playing as hard as they can. I mean, they're really giving it their best shot.
They are. They're really
somewhat admirable.
As tired as they are probably getting in this game, they are still giving it all their 100%.
Kevin Doan takes it up and puts it in. And once again, he doesn't get a basket. He had a similar play earlier that we thought could have counted, but the rest did not think so. And the foul is on Jeff Cummins, his second, as Bobby Deck now replaces Morgan Murakami. Maybe take a look at Jeff.
And I think Coach Mayberry is just starting to pull his starters out of this game. Not entirely, but one by one, they're coming out.
Galloway with the rebound. Cummins puts it up and in. Shot attempt by Link is blocked by Cummins, as Alton Purnell checks into the game now for the Fighting Irish, replacing Jeff Cummins. John Provenzano also is preparing to come back into the game. A three-point shot by Bennett, and he drills it. Nice play by Lloyd Bennett. Galloway. Jermaine stops from about 8 feet and misses the shot, and apparently we have an Aztec foul.
I think Kevin Doan picked up his third there.
Indeed he did, as Provenzano replaces Vetica.
I think Kevin did his best against Jermaine Galloway. He got the ball and he jumped as high and as hard as he could to block that shot. He really tried.
Rosenthal is preparing to come into the game now for the Aztecs, and he will replace Kevin Doan. Snyder out there now, and Paul Pappas prepares to come into the game for the Irish as well. Snyder with the ball. Feeds Link, and Link is denied, and I think Galloway is going to be called for a foul. No, in fact, the foul is called on Bobby Miyamoto. As Bobby Deck comes out of the game. 4.5 minutes remaining, 68-31. Kennedy with a rout of La Quinta. Link at the line. And Provenzano comes up court with the ball. Feeds Purnell, and Purnell puts it up and in, and is fouled, I believe, by Greenfield. Basket count. Let's take a look at that play again, as the foul is actually called on Bennett. There you see number 11, Lloyd Bennett, with contact.
He came pretty close almost to getting that ball.
And Bennett comes down with it, loses it briefly, but Link is there with the ball. Bennett with a three-point attempt, misses, rebound Purnell. And we have Patrick Coons coming into the game now for Galloway. Greenfield with a three-point shot, and he drills it. Purnell misses the shot. Rebound Snyder. Quickly up court comes Todd, and he'll take the shot. Doesn't get anything, but Rosenthal is there for the rebound and can't get it to drop. Alan Wu now coming back into the game for Kennedy in just a moment.
Coach Mayberry is still, when they go on defense, he's still keeping his full court pressure on them.
Yamato comes away with the rebound. No, excuse me, that was Alan Wu, that rebound. That was Alan Wu. As Alton Purnell puts it up, misses. Pappas with the rebound, he misses, gets his own rebound, loses the ball to Bennett, and quickly come the Aztecs up court. Bennett takes it all the way. You know, Lloyd Bennett, that's at least the fourth at this time he's done just that. Made a really impressive drive not to make the layup.
I think he's frustrated with himself for missing those too.
And once again, Lloyd comes away with it. Todd Snyder with the shot, misses. Rebound Bennett. Bennett can't get it to drop, and let's see what the call is. Call is against Pappas. That's Paul's first foul of the evening. Let's take a look at that play once again.
As you look underneath, Bennett's there again. He's got his own rebound, and he just tries to go up. He actually fouled by two Kennedy players, but they called it on purpose.
70-35. Kennedy doubling the La Quinta score. 2:45 remaining in the contest. Miyamada comes away with it, gives to Provenzano. Snyder guarding Provenzano. Brooks prepares to come in for the Aztecs, as does Anderson for the Irish. Bobby Miyamato will check. Excuse me, we'll go to the line now. 2 minutes remaining, 73-38, and Brooks comes away with a steal, and he puts it up and in. Anthony Brooks does for the Aztecs. There's a little Aztec spurt.
It was a good steal and a nice turnaround play there.
And Provenzano throws it away. Brooks to Snyder. Back to Brooks. Link with a three-point shot. Cannot make it. Wu comes away with it. Brooks with a three-point shot. He drove. Alan Wu controls for the Irish. Anderson in the paint. He puts it up and in and is fouled with a minute left in the game. Richard Anderson will go to the line now.
You've got to give Coach Kernan credit. He's got a young team. He held in there pretty tight through the first half. And like he had told me earlier, that fatigue would be a factor in this game since they are such a young team. And he doesn't have a bench. He doesn't have a defense to go to. So, but again, he has to reemphasize that in 2 years, these guys will probably be at least 6 inches taller. 6 inches taller, and their stamina will be double what it is now. And he's got he's got a couple of freshmen on the team. He's got a couple of sophomores, and they'll be here in 2 years, and they'll be a lot better than what they are now.
That will certainly be the case. Snyder, Greenfield with a three-point shot. Rebound Kennedy. 25 seconds remaining. Alan Wu to the basket and he makes it count. Greenfield drives, misses the shot. Greg Greenfield will go to the line now for the Aztecs with 7 seconds on the clock. Kennedy leading 82-43. And Greg makes his free throw. Provenzano. Yamato. And we have a foul called on Kevin Doan, I believe, with 2 seconds remaining in the contest. This game was produced by Julian Ed Cosenza, directed by Danny Song, Dave Wadsworth on graphics, Connie Dean on audio, Furman Castro on replay, Doug Gansfido, Loris Milstein, and Julian also on camera. Hope you enjoyed tonight's contest, coming you courtesy of Copley Colony Cable Vision, La Palma Channel 8, Cypress Channel 3. Folks, you want to stick around, as I believe upcoming next is the women's contest. And I have had the advantage of seeing it already, and I can assure you it's a good game. You might want to stick around and check it out as you take a good look at Bobby. Also, Roger Haney was part of our production crew this evening. Folks, the final score is 84-45. Kennedy with a dominating victory over La Quinta. Pretty much as we expected, a young Aztec team, certainly to be a power in the future. But right now, it's Coach Bayberry's hour, once again clinching the Garden Grove League Championship. His team is 12-0 and on their way potentially for an undefeated season. For all of us here at Copley Colony Cablevision, for Kevin Takumi and the entire bunch, I'm Gary Cox, thanking you for watching.
Well, I'm glad you joined us tonight.
Huh?
I'm glad you joined us.
All right. Yeah, I just happened to be thumbing through the channels, and I started listening. I heard a couple of people talking about the Mike Tyson issue, and I was looking at something on TV last night, and Roy Firestone was up close. He was interviewing Larry Merchant, and he was talking about Mike